Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Holly is about to light up a joint in the Dimmeray mansion when Johnny approaches from behind. She tucks it away subtly and turns to face him. He says he'd just seen Tate walking away, appearing somewhat distressed. She bemoans the fact that he dared to pursue her while her mother was gone. Holly fills Johnny in when he asks what she's talking about. E tries to soothe a shaken Nicole at the hospital. He interrupts her as she gets out of bed to look for her kid. Weeping, she rests against his chest, fearing for their helpless son. Leo begs Dimitri to leave the questioning room without him over the phone. Instead, Dimitri advises that he get him a competent attorney. Leo reminds him that they are poor and begs Dimitri to leave Salem once more. Dimitri is determined not to let his true love languish in jail. He instructs him to wait. He is receiving assistance. Eric is informed by Sloane at home that their adopted child was delivered tonight. Eric, who is overjoyed, becomes anxious about all the things they still need to accomplish. With assurance, Sloane tells him they got this. Everything is starting to fit together. They will at last have the family of their dreams. Once Melinda completes all the preparations, she breaks down when he gives her a hug. Melinda tends to the infant in a crib in a hotel room before answering Dr. Pierce's door. They retell Sloane's valiant defense against Melinda's attempt to get him imprisoned for insurance fraud. She and Sloane are in need of a favor because he likes money and doesn't follow the rules. Rafe makes fun of Leo for all the accusations made against him in the questioning room. To save his own ass, he advises Leo to turn on Dimitri. Leo goes on. It's ride or die for Dimitri. Despite having betrayed numerous people in the past, he will not do the same to Dimitri. When EJ phones the police station to speak with Rafe when he's in Nicole's hospital room, she finds out he's with Leo. In order to find out where Dimitri is, EJ makes the decision to go down there and question the garrulous court jester himself. He assures Nicole that he won't give up until their child is once again in her arms, where he truly belongs. When Eric informs Sloane about Nicole at home, she pretends to be surprised and worried. She then answers Dimitri's call. Eric leaves to inform his mother the good news about their client, once she says so. After a moment, Sloane looks back at Dimitri, who needs her to help Leo get out of danger. She goes on. Dimitri assures her that he will bring her a sizable sum. He tells Leo he loves him and that he must leave the town, but she still passes. However, he cannot do that until he is certain that someone is watching out for him. Cleo says Leo is correct. Dimitri ought to go out of town. After she gets Leo exonerated, they can both leave Salem for a very long time. Dr. Pierce examines the infant after noticing a written number with a lot of zeros underneath it. He says the infant is healthy but underweight. That's fantastic, but he should tell the parents the opposite, Melinda argues. Dr. Pierce protests. That is not how he can destroy the boy's parents. Melinda encourages him to see the bright side, saying that he will be bringing great joy to another spouse. After Holly and Johnny receive Eric's SMS regarding Nicole, they head to the hospital. Holly dashes into her mom's embrace. Nicole breaks down in tears as she reports their missing baby brother. During the questioning, EJ suddenly interrupts and grabs Leo by the jacket. How in the hell did your boyfriend handle my child? Taking EJ off of him, Rafe demands an explanation. According to EJ's explanation, Dimitri never brought his son to the hospital. He accuses a startled Leo of coming up with the entire scheme with Dimitri. Leo tells him that's not true. So, where is my son? Exclaims an enraged EJ. Leo is certain that Dimitri wouldn't abduct a child even though he doesn't know. If Leo doesn't tell EJ where Dimitri is, EJ will threaten him. Sloane strolls in and insists on having a private conversation with her customer. Leo inquires as to whether Dimitri mentioned Nicole's kid after the men have left. Sloane lies, saying he didn't bring it up. Melinda is holding the baby in her hotel room. She says that in order to help a child, sometimes sacrifices must be made. For her own little girl, she took that action. She sobs as she remembers giving Haley to her parents to raise. She knew it was best for her, even if it crushed her heart. She also understands that this is best for the infant. Good individuals, Eric and Sloane, will make wonderful parents. EJ goes back to the hospital to see Nicole, Johnny, and Holly. He promises to do all it takes to locate their son. Dr. Pierce walks in. According to him, a man arrived at the hospital with Nicole Demira's baby. Nicole queries his well-being. Dr. Pierce apologizes to Mrs. Demira. Your son did not survive. Dimitri begs Dr. Rolfe not to depart without him over the phone in the park. He says in a whisper, "Goodbye, Leo." After hanging up, "I cherish you." Leo discovers in the questioning chamber that Dimitri has left town. "That's a relief," he remarks, cast crestfallen aside. Leo is informed by Sloane that while it is too late to get him arraigned, she will try her hardest to help him get out of this situation. Calling Sloane, Melinda informs her that Pierce has agreed to assist them. Nicole doesn't think her kid is dead while she's in the hospital. When Dimitri went with him, he was all right. Pierce makes up the claim that the infant was hurt internally in the collision. The blanket he was wrapped in is given to her. Nicole accepts it gingerly and sobs. E.G. freezes, eyes welling with emotions, watching as Holly gives her mother a hug. E.G. requests that Johnny bring Holly outside. Holly calls with the news of Nicole's baby's birth as Eric is telling Marlena about the birth of his and Sloane's child. Nicole is crying while E.G. sits by himself on the hospital bed and puts his arms around her. "Tell her this isn't real, please," she begs him. E.G. says he's confident their son was a fighter, fighting back tears. E.G. sobs softly when Nicole tells him not to use the past tense. Nicole tells him they lost 2 infants before they were even born, and he gathers himself. Not this one, though. He succeeded. It really would be unjust if she pauses in mid-sentence and screams in pain. E.G. grasps her. Days of Our Lives is down one more Demira in the blink of an eye. Is there another von Lischner there? In any case, by the Wednesday show's conclusion, Dimitri had taken to Rolfe's magical submarine and left town. But not before he made sure Sloane did everything within her power to keep Leo out of jail and left Nicole's kid with the last 2 people he should have. Is this the end of his specific kind of villainy, or is Leo and him going to part ways? Neither Dimitri nor the show really had much of an option at this point. He has simply gone too far, from trying to kill 2 people at once to beating up a police officer, to be able to stay in Salem without serving a lengthy prison sentence. Furthermore, EJ will demand to see his nephew's head served on a platter if the real story of where Nicole's kid went ever surfaced. That is, until he discovers that it was never his child in the first place. But according to Salem logic, Leo has a chance to escape from prison. Not in real life, of course, but he's almost a prince among men. Granted, he had set Dimitri free, but Sloane could likely contend he was coerced into doing so. Jana can attest that Leo convinced Nicole that he was the one who made sure she got assistance, and that he persuaded Dimitri out of killing her. With a lawyer like Sloane, he can escape with little more than a slap on the wrist and head off to wherever that sub is heading. Thanks for watching if you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.